What would you do if your own sister not only stole your wedding venue, but also your guest list, your vendors, and even tried to steal your fiancé? Well, this person from Reddit decided that if her sister wanted to play dirty, she'd show her what real revenge looks like. And trust me, by the end of this story, you'll understand why this wedding revenge is being called the most savage comeback in Reddit history. If you love epic revenge stories, you need to hit that like button right now, because this one is absolutely legendary. Our storyteller, let's call her Emma, had been planning her dream wedding for over a year. She'd saved every penny from her teaching job, found the perfect venue, and had everything booked for her spring wedding. Her younger sister Chloe had always been the golden child, spoiled by their wealthy parents who paid for everything in her life while Emma worked for every dollar she had. When Emma excitedly shared her wedding plans at a family dinner, she noticed Chloe taking notes on her phone. At the time, Emma thought it was sweet that her sister was so interested. She had no idea she was actually documenting everything so she could steal it all. 2 weeks later, Chloe announced her own engagement to a guy she'd been dating for only 3 months. And then she dropped the bomb that would start a war between sisters. Before we get to the theft that shocked an entire family, make sure you're subscribed for more revenge stories that'll leave you speechless. Chloe didn't just announce her engagement, she announced her wedding date. The exact same date as Emma's wedding, just 3 weeks earlier. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part came when Emma got a call from her wedding venue saying there had been a mix-up and they'd accidentally double-booked her date. Emma was devastated, but then she found out the truth. Chloe hadn't just taken Emma's date, she'd offered the venue double their normal rate to break Emma's contract and book her instead. With their parents' money, of course. When Emma confronted Chloe, her sister's response was chilling. "Well, I'm getting married first now, so I get first pick of everything. You can have whatever I don't want." Emma thought this was rock bottom. She had no idea how much deeper her sister was willing to dig. Just wait until you hear what Chloe did next, it's so cruel that even their own parents couldn't defend it. Drop a comment with what you think happened. Over the next few days, Emma started getting cancellation calls. Her photographer, her caterer, her florist, her DJ, everyone was mysteriously backing out of her wedding. Some claimed scheduling conflicts, others offered weak excuses, but Emma knew exactly what was happening. Chloe was systematically buying out every single vendor Emma had booked, using her parents' unlimited credit card to offer prices Emma could never match. Within a week, Emma had lost everything she'd spent a year planning and saving for. But the cruelest blow came when Emma discovered that Chloe had somehow gotten hold of Emma's guest list and was sending out invitations to Emma's own friends and family, claiming that Emma's wedding had been postponed indefinitely and everyone should come to Chloe's wedding instead. Emma's own grandmother called to ask why she was cancelling her wedding. That's when Emma realized her sister hadn't just stolen her wedding, she was trying to erase Emma's relationship entirely. I know you're probably furious right now, but trust me, Emma's revenge is worth the wait. Hit that notification bell because this story is about to take an incredible turn. Emma's fiancé Mark was ready to elope to Vegas and forget the whole thing, but Emma had a different plan. She realized that Chloe had made one crucial mistake, she'd stolen Emma's wedding, but she hadn't planned her own. Emma did some research and discovered something interesting. Chloe knew nothing about wedding planning. Every detail she'd stolen from Emma was something Chloe had never researched herself. The flowers, the menu, the music, the timeline, Chloe had just copied everything without understanding why Emma had made those specific choices. That's when Emma realized her sister's wedding was going to be a disaster, and all Emma had to do was help it along. But Emma's revenge plan was more sophisticated than anyone could have imagined. Instead of trying to sabotage Chloe directly, Emma decided to become the most helpful, supportive sister possible. And that's exactly what made her plan so brilliant. Emma's revenge strategy is absolutely genius, and when you see how she pulled it off, you'll understand why this story went viral. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the epic conclusion. Emma started calling Chloe every day, offering to help with wedding planning. She volunteered to handle details, make calls, coordinate with vendors. Chloe, who was completely overwhelmed, gratefully accepted her sister's help. But here's what Chloe didn't know. Emma was deliberately giving her terrible advice while making it sound helpful. Emma convinced Chloe that outdoor weddings in early spring were so trendy without mentioning that the weather would be unpredictable. She suggested a seafood-heavy menu for a family full of people with shellfish allergies. She recommended a band that specialized in death metal for a formal wedding. Every suggestion Emma made was designed to create problems, but she presented each one as expert advice from her year of research. And Chloe, who trusted her sister's planning experience, followed every recommendation. But Emma's masterpiece was still to come. What Emma did next is so perfectly calculated that it's become legendary on Reddit. Comment below, have you ever gotten revenge on a family member? 3 days before Chloe's wedding, Emma revealed her masterstroke. She had been secretly recording every conversation where Chloe admitted to stealing Emma's vendors, bribing the venue, and trying to sabotage Emma's relationship. Emma had months of evidence of her sister's manipulation and theft. But Emma didn't go to their parents or post the recordings online. Instead, she did something much more devastating. Emma sent the recordings to every single vendor Chloe had stolen from her, along with a message explaining that she was the original client whose contracts had been broken. She offered each vendor the chance to get revenge on behalf of all the small clients they'd screwed over for rich customers. The response was immediate and brutal. Every vendor had horror stories about entitled clients like Chloe, and they were thrilled to finally have a chance to fight back. The way these vendors got their revenge on Chloe is absolutely savage. Hit that like button if you want to see entitled people get what they deserve. On the morning of Chloe's wedding, everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and it was all perfectly orchestrated. The flowers arrived, but they were funeral arrangements instead of bridal bouquets. The caterer showed up with food for a child's birthday party instead of an elegant dinner. The photographer was there, but he only knew how to shoot boudoir photos. The DJ brought nothing but death metal and polka music. Every vendor had found creative ways to fulfill their contracts technically while making the wedding a complete disaster. And since Chloe had paid premium prices and signed ironclad contracts, there were no refunds and no alternatives. The wedding was so chaotic that half the guests left before the ceremony started. The other half stayed just to watch the train wreck unfold. Chloe spent her wedding day crying, screaming at vendors, and trying to salvage a celebration that was beyond saving. Meanwhile, Emma and Mark had a beautiful, intimate wedding the following month with new vendors who admired Emma's creative problem-solving skills. Justice was served, and honestly, Chloe got exactly what she deserved. If you love stories where the villain gets their comeuppance, you need to subscribe right now. This story teaches us something important about family dynamics and consequences. Chloe thought she could use her parents' money and privilege to take whatever she wanted from her sister without any repercussions. She learned the hard way that stealing someone's dreams comes with a price. But what makes Emma's revenge so perfect is that she never broke any laws or did anything unethical. She simply used Chloe's own greed and entitlement against her, creating a situation where natural consequences could unfold. The best part: Emma's marriage is still going strong 3 years later, while Chloe's lasted exactly 6 months. Turns out building a marriage on theft and manipulation isn't a great foundation for lasting love. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's stepping back and letting someone destroy themselves. If this story of sibling revenge satisfied your justice-loving soul, I need you to smash that like button, subscribe and hit the bell for more epic revenge stories, and share this with anyone who's ever dealt with a toxic family member. Comment below and tell me, what's the worst thing a family member has ever done to you, and did you get them back? Let's build a community where we support each other against family drama. See you in the next revenge story.